good morning everyone on this bright but rather chilly Tuesday morning in Sandringham Private Game Reserve. So good to have you all on board with us this morning. My name is Maxine Gaines. I'm joined behind the camera this morning with Panda, who is back from leave. Super excited to see what we're going to be able to find for you this morning. We've already heard some alarm calls, kudu alarm calls. The bush sounds like it's waking up, and I think we're going to have a good one. And really good to have Panda on board with me today.
All right, everybody. Well, there's another hyena coming in, but we've got a hyena that's busy eating on the remains of a kill. And you can see that a female known as Kuchava, she made a kill here, apparently late last night. And she brought her two youngsters here, and they came for a feed. And then I thought, oh, well, let's try and follow up on the three leopards. And unfortunately, they are not here now. But we've got, here comes another hyena in. Listen, maybe we're going to hear some whooping here. Let's listen. I'm trying to see which individuals we've got here. It looks like we might have Koa, and I'm not too sure who's the other one. But I can see just the strength of their jaw is just amazing. I mean, they really just break through any bit of bone that's around you, and they crush it with the strong jaws of theirs. And then they devour the entire bone, all the fragments. Oh, this hyena looks like it's gone through the proper wars. Look at all the scarring on the side. Wow. Then apparently that one looks kind of balloonish. Yeah. Balloonish. Yeah, but definitely not junior. I'm trying to see. Might be a male. This might be one of the males. But proper scarring on the side. I think the other one was Koa.
Definitely looks like a juvenile. Cam and I were catching up on all the jackal news here at Mabula. Obviously, there's a few families of jackal we've been following. This is the one close to the airstrip, kind of in the middle of the reserve, and then there was another family over at Ngorongoro. So we've got the sun obviously is trying to come up, but we've got nice cold breeze that is coming in just before the sun rises, so it is quite chilly, I must say. And this jackal is very snugly tucked. It's not the... I understand it's nice and soft, this rhino dung, but it doesn't smell great. So, Michael, good question. So dung from animals can be an ecosystem for lots of different creatures. So, like an elephant dung, rhino dung. So, all scat or dung from one creature is then fed on by many other different creatures. So, it probably does have quite a few interesting little parasites inside that dung there. But, I mean, rhinos are herbivores. They'll feed on all this nice grass in all these open areas. So you can see lots of grass in there. So I don't think there'd be any harmful bacteria or little parasites that would affect this little jackal. Baboon dung is not so great. So predator scat and baboon scat generally don't want to touch that because they do feed on quite interesting array of food. So generally I don't like to touch predator scat or baboon scat, but I think this rhino dung looks like quite a nice little bed for this jackal this morning. Have you ever seen this behavior anywhere else, Cam? I've only seen it here on Mabula.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen so many others.
So while we're watching this little jackal having a good nap, I'm just having a scan in all these open areas. To see if we can find any movement, any activity out there. But just like with the wildebeest, everything seems to be hiding. in the trees.
Well, we found ourselves an elephant. We heard technically two. We don't think this is we heard another one sort of further down the in the valley that we were sort of resting above, but it seems that there's another one down here. We don't know who this is just yet. Can't really see much of him other than the top of his head and his back. But what a good way to start off our International Elephant Day, of course, with an elephant hiding in the bush, doing what they do best, actually. People don't seem to think that elephants can hide very well, but this elephant's here to tell you they can. Anna Marie, absolutely, we had to try and find some form of elephant somewhere along the lines. With the rest of the herd being tucked away in one of the valleys, we thought, well, there must be some bulls lingering around, and there are usually some bulls lingering around this particular area of the reserve. And luckily, like I said, well, we think there's two because we heard a sound of a tree breaking that sounded a whole lot closer than what it actually was. Well, we found this guy, and we'll see what he does. I don't think he's going to move very, very much. I mean, he hasn't moved very much in the time that we've been here seeing him. So, now we shall see what happens. And he seems to be feeding in amongst the quarries there. Leila, there are a lot of biomes actually in Amakhala. We have a little bit of forest, we have a little bit of riverine thicket, we have Albany thicket, we have grassland, we have Namakuru, and there's another one. What's the other one? Not necessarily savanna. I must just have a look and see what. There's one that's missing, but there are a couple of biomes here in Amakhala, which make it so diverse and perfect for a number of different animals that we that call Amakhala home. So yeah, it is. It does sort of have in some places a little bit of a tropical look. I think when you look at all these bright green guarri trees, they do have that sort of tropical feel to them. But this is a typical lower Albany thicket or coastal thicket. You'll find lots of these trees as well around the areas of the ocean that are thick with bush. And the birds that live here are exactly the same birds that you'll find closer towards the ocean. So, oh, he's just broken something there. If you sit on any of the rivers around the area here, you will hear, the southern bobo, the somber green bull, the Nediki, which is talking to us at the moment, as well as a handful of others that we hear every day.
Doesn't look like her tusks are broken off, or certainly not on this side. She looks like an old lady as well. Her skull is quite sunken in. And I can't see a tusk on the other side as well. That's a recessive gene, the no tusk gene. It was quite common in Addo Elephant Park. Exactly, bird's eye. How special is this? Sandringham's elephant sightings are absolutely superb. Yeah, she definitely seems to just have no tusks. She seems to be the oldest elephant in this little group as well. That's very cool. Look at how she manages without tusks. Often an elephant with a tusk will use the tusk like that to break the branches off, but she did it absolutely fine without them. Hello, girl. This girl's got one tusk. Also, doesn't appear to have broken the other tusk. It just seems to not be there. Sad, I'm not sure if it's the most complicated, but it certainly is very complicated. So it's made up of basically 17 muscles. You've got 8 big muscles on either side of the trunk, and then you've got a single muscle that runs through between the 2 nostrils. And but then each of those big muscles are made up of many, many, many muscle fascicles. So you end up with about 150,000 muscle fascicles that each can kind of move individually. And so it allows the trunk to twist around and move in all different directions. It's a very, very strong, being muscular, and very flexible kind of an instrument, as it were.
So we're watching our white rhino. Yes, we do have white and black rhino on Mabula Private Game Reserve. Cam and I were just talking about if we've ever seen the black rhino here. Cam got close to seeing the black rhino, but there was just one of those usual Mabula magic days where everything happened all at the same time. So I think you were with Eric, right? So Cam... So on Eric and Cam's last stint, they had just one crazy day where there was just everything happening. Wild dogs made a kill, activity with the cheetah, and then there was a black rhino sighted. But the black rhino here on Mabula, it's quite rare to see them. I've seen the areas that they hang out in. It's very difficult for us. There's not much signal in those areas, very thick areas and river lines. So James, yes, these rhinos here on Mabula are very closely watched and monitored. So if you have a look, both of these rhinos should have collars on. I can see on the individual on the right does have a collar. Some of these rhinos here on Mabula even have 2 collars. One is a tracking device, and then they have these new collars which are more monitoring the rhinos' vital signs, so that if anything goes downhill or if they lose a heartbeat for a longer period of time, then they know something is wrong with the rhino. So they're very well monitored, very good anti-poaching unit here on the reserve to take care of all of these rhinos. But with the black rhino, it can be a bit difficult because the areas, as I mentioned, signal is a bit of a challenge, and they like to hang out in these very low-lying riverine areas where their tracking devices don't always pick up, they don't always get signal on their collars. But it would be epic to find a black rhino here on Mabula.
Okay, everyone, I don't know if you can see the light color of Passanwari there. They are moving along the road, so I'm going to keep my distance so that we don't just chug along behind them. You can see this little one's quite curious, but also looking back at those elephants. Well done, Panda. Well done. They are settling down for us. Actually, not all of them are settling down. The lead females seem to be wanting to push on, but the cubs are having a little rest. It's lovely to see Passanwari with them. He's looking great. I was saying the other day, all the cubs are looking a little bit moth-eaten, but that's nothing to do with their condition being bad. It's just the phase that they go through where they start to lose that fluffiness and become more sleek. And the hair just seems to fall out in chunks. So these young cubs can really look a little bit untidy and kind of moth-eaten, but that all comes right fairly soon. Thank you, Liverpool Bird. Yeah, it was a real team effort this morning. We found the tracks. The tracks were going in all different directions. Then we heard the lion calling, and so we knew we had to turn around and go back. And then we were following their tracks, and then but the bushwires, so we bumped into the bushwire students who said, "Oh, they've just crossed in front of us, just crossed the road." So it was a real team effort to find them, and it's paid off. One of the big females is lying down on the road up ahead, so these cubs might settle down again with her. So I'm just going to give them all a chance to move off and catch up, and then we'll reposition the vehicle.
My goodness me, look at what we found. Not often we get to see these little creatures. They're always hiding from us, and because it's nice and warm now and probably going to be cold a little bit later, still the guys decided to come out now. We're definitely going to try and get a little bit closer, but my goodness me, it is the first one. No way. So Morgan's just confirmed this is the first Amakhala aardvark that we've seen. It's the first time I'm seeing an aardvark in so long. So long. I can't actually tell you the last time we saw an aardvark. We've been manifesting this for 2 weeks? 2 weeks now?
3 years.
3 years. I wanted to see it 2 weeks ago. Morgan said 2 years.
Andrew and myself missed one by like 2 minutes.
Really?
Like 2 months ago.
Oh my goodness. It's very rare to see them during the day. So you say you missed one by 2 minutes 2 months ago?
We drove over the Landman. By the time we got to Smudge's turn-off, Clayton called on in at the turn-off to Mitsu.
Sneaky. I don't know if you heard that, but Andrew and Morgan missed one by literally 2 minutes. They went past, they crossed a road or a junction, and drove maybe about 2-3 minutes, and just missed it because someone else had called it in, and they were where that person had called it in. They were in the exact same place before. I think these animals, they do things like that to you. It's like the Sandringham lions. You drive up a road, they cross the road behind you, you don't know. Then you drive back down the road, you see the tracks on the road. Be absolutely, it is amazing. You know, you don't get to see these guys very often. In fact, ever, it feels like. I saw a bump and thought it was a termite mound. I mean, they do look like a termite mound. And Morgan's like, that bump is moving. That is an aardvark. I thought he was joking. Pistia, I think out during the day because the evenings are so cold nowadays. Clear skies, the heat just doesn't stick around. And I mean, like on a night like last night, it must have been below zero. There was frost everywhere this morning. So I imagine they come out because it's a little bit warmer. Obviously, it's quite quiet here, so there's not much to bother them, and you know they can get a bit of a feed in before tucking themselves away at night time. Which way is the wind coming from? We want to try and get to him where obviously the wind is not going to blow our scent and our sound towards him, because that's definitely going to scare him away. But with those big ears, obviously their sense of hearing is quite good. There's a bobo in the bush shouting at us. Southern bobo. Oh, also wants to be on camera. Unfortunately not today, Mr. Bobo. Oh, there he goes, flown away.
All right, there's some nice crocodiles on the island. They're busy sunning, so there's a beautiful island. We are actually at Chitwa Dam, first of all, a beautiful dam here in the northern Sabi Sand. Big dam, a lot of crocs and hippos always at this place, and it looks like it's such a lovely afternoon for these crocodiles to be sunning today. I think that's exactly why we have two of them, two of the big crocs right next to each other. Isn't that amazing? That is just perfect for the afternoon. And I can imagine heating up those bodies, making sure they're taking in as much heat as possible, as much sunlight as possible for the day. And later on, once it gets cool and the sun sets again, slowly but surely start moving into... Now I wonder which one is Vlada and which one is Boris. So the two big crocodiles, these two, one is known as Vlada and the other is known as Boris. And I think Vlada is the one that's got the tip of its tail missing. Very difficult to tell. But there's also a whole lot of little crocodiles here. I'm going to try and see if I can find a little crocodile around on the side, on the bank somewhere. Because it is a nice day for them just to be out on the side. The little island. Yes, Shelley, there's a little crocodile on the little island. Yeah, always nice to see these crocodiles. I think there's so many crocs in this dam now, but there's 3 big ones, and now there's loads of little ones all over the show. So just in front of that bush, as you can see, there's another little crocodile, busy sunning there as well, catching the last bit of sun for the afternoon. While the 2 Egyptian geese in the background are busy milling around.
Oh, we might just have a pool party, everyone. I was wondering. I said to Panda, should we go? Shouldn't we? Panda was like, yeah, maybe they'll swim. Looks like we might have some swimming ellies. That is very cool. I wonder if the rest are going to come and join him. You're going to have a little swim, chap. Normally when one goes in, the rest follow. It's like they just need that one to take the lead, and then the rest join. Especially bulls, they seem to love wrestling with each other in the water and playing with each other. I suppose the water kind of helps buoy them up, and so it's maybe easier to play wrestle and get rough with each other in the water than it is on land. So maybe that's why they do it more than the females do. You often see the bulls having pool parties. Oh, that one's going to have a little lie down. I suppose it must be such a relief when you're an elephant and you weigh so much, to just get that weight off your feet a bit, to be able to get in the water and have the water just support your body and give your feet a little break. The 2 of them are at it, and the 3rd one is a bit smaller. He's kind of not that sure about whether he wants to join in or not. Sticking to the back, blowing bubbles. How amazing. Now we've got another 2 that have decided they're going to come in as well. Oh, 3 of them now walking in, so we're going to have 6 Ellies as part of this little wrestling group any minute. So lovely to just sit and listen to the water, the noises that they're making.
We have a lovely sunset here over the mountains of Mabula, and we have found some more rhinos, with one tiny little baby rhino over on the left. Oh my goodness, so cute. So it's very special to be able to see rhino still with their horns. A lot of places that I've seen rhinos, they might not have their horns. A lot of reserves do dehorn their rhinos for their safety and protection. But I think here on Mabula, they're very confident in their ability to protect these rhinos. I do love the sounds that rhinos make. Even adults make the same kind of like a very cute little baby sound, almost like But it's interesting to see the little baby rhinos making this very adorable sound. And then you hear the adults also making quite an interesting sound. The males, of course, when they're fighting with one another, do make a series of grunts and growls amongst each other. But otherwise, I do like this very low-pitched contact call that they have. Oh, this little rhino is adorable. The real Shamwari, this is a beautiful sighting. It's really interesting to watch these rhinos interacting here at Mabula. BK and I, on a few occasions, have had rhinos. So we were mentioning about rhinos using their horns as a defense, but they also use those horns to fight with one another, the females to protect their young. Sometimes when feisty males come into the area, they can cause trouble with the females and their little babies. So BK and I have, on a few occasions, had rhinos fighting and getting a little bit closer to the vehicle than we were expecting. Oh, see, this female rhino is not happy about those other 2 being close by. She keeps giving a bit of a snort every time they are close to her. So all these collars, these rhinos do have their tracking devices or their little ankle bracelets. So elephants will often have a collar around their neck. Rhino will have these little ankle bracelets that they are constantly doing research and working on in order to perfect, make them last longer, less bulky. A few of these rhinos, you can see their ears have those notches. So this notching system is almost like an identification for these rhinos. So it's to identify each and every different individual. They all have their own little like notching coding system, which gives them a number.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Thanks so much for all the comments and questions that you have sent through to us this afternoon. And I'm hoping that we could answer as many questions as possible. And well, I enjoyed it. What a great day. It's always been a fine day in the northern Sabi Sand. But yes, from old Mr. Muscles and Paul right at the back there, and from myself, Cedric, have a wonderful evening further.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we really hope that you enjoyed our sunset safari with us and enjoyed our rare species of animal that we don't usually get to see here at Amakhala. What an absolutely special afternoon it was. Hoping we'll be able to see more of them. And, like I said, more of them and hopefully more aardvark. Unfortunately, we were not unable to find the aardvark this afternoon, but the search will not end here. We will continue until we find them. But until then, we hope that you enjoy the rest of your beautiful Tuesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
So just want to say a big thanks to everyone for watching and joining us today. We are going to end off our drive here with these lovely rhino. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. From me, Cam, the rest of the team, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.